First up, go to my nicosteves.com website for all things about my book. There are links that take you directly to the Amazon page where my book, The Very Fine Light, is sold. Currently, it is only available in ebook form at Amazon.com. For all you iPad and non-Kindle tablet readers, please note, on that same page, there is a free app for non-Kindle readers, so you do not have to have an Amazon Kindle to read my book. Just look in the lower right corner as you make the purchase for the book for that free app. You can read the first few chapters for free while there. Why not check it out after listening to this podcast? Also, you can forward that free read to your friends right there on the same page as well. So please, once you've read the book, go to my books page there on Amazon and rank it. 5 stars are great, and comments are not required. This will really help me with promoting the book on Amazon. Remember, I am self-publishing the book, so your support really helps. And now on to part 2. This Lenten season of Easter is turned into celebrating the resurrection of Christ, thanks to this miracle that Easter time provides. There are shouts all around us that says, "He is alive." While at home, the renewed life can be seen in the foliage turning green, flowers in bloom, the wild animals with their young, both birds in the sky above our shelters or squirrels on the ground. Life in the full is now emerging. He has risen. Easter Day begins the 50-day celebration when Christ rose and appeared in the flesh. It's likely one of his first apparition visits was to his mother. Christian tradition has long taken it for granted that one of the first appearances of the risen Lord was to see his mother. Mother Mary firmly believed her son's words when he foretold his resurrection from the dead. Surely the Virgin Mary too said, "He is risen." When Christ reappears in his human body after the resurrection on Easter, the celebrations of Easter time during the first week, known as Bright Week in the Orthodox tradition, and Easter week in the Roman Catholic, and other Christian church traditions. Each day consists of singing each entire service in celebration to such a great miracle as the risen Christ. And so Easter Day is just the first of the 50 days of celebration up through Pentecost. Jesus appears multiple times to his faithful in the upper room where the Last Supper was, as well as continuing other places, including the town of Galilee, where 500 people saw him. So by the 40th day comes the Ascension, when Jesus appears for the last time in his human body, and he rises up to heaven, where he will become the celestial body, as promised to all believers who will be with him in his glory. Then comes the 50th day after the resurrection, Pentecost. And on this 50th day is when the disciples received the Holy Spirit as Christ had promised them. These are the observances that the churches honor beyond some people's remembrances as simply the one day of Easter that includes the popularized Easter baskets, the Easter egg hunts, and Easter Day dinner celebrations. I noticed an icon of the Ascension of Christ. I reflected on this icon and how the great victory over death and evil that the Christian churches bring up throughout the 50 days of Easter time is reflected in this Ascension of Christ's icon. This icon of the Ascension shows Christ rising towards the heaven. Below are the apostles as well as the Virgin Mary too. And while the apostles logically are looking up at Christ as he's rising, they appear to be talking amongst themselves in wonderment while watching Christ as he rises, whereas the Virgin Mary is depicted in the center and very calm with her hands raised up in prayer. Also included are 2 angels behind the Virgin Mary who speak one line to those witnessed to the event. The one angel says, according to the Acts of the Apostles, "This same Jesus, which was taken up from you into heaven, will so come in like manner as you saw him go into heaven. This event occurs 40 days after Christ rose from the tomb, but 10 days before the Pentecost. Pentecost being the time when the Holy Spirit came down and empowered the disciples as they began their ministries of spreading the word of the risen Christ as the roots of the Christian church begins. Since the crucifixion, and for the rest of her life, the Virgin Mary was always accompanied by the disciple St. John, and she is frequently included in artworks when Jesus is said to have appeared to the disciples, and also she too witnessed his appearances during those 50 days. He has risen. This is Nico Steves. I hope you enjoyed this installment. My book can be found using the title, The Very Fine Light, on Amazon.com. Please feel free to contact me at nicosteves.com. That's Nikos Steves, Steves.com. If you like this episode, and for more, share them with friends. This is Nico Steves. Thank you. See you next time.